Hello folks, welcome to Canal Channel Jose. And before we start this video, we want to say that this is for entertainment purpose only. We're not certified mechanics, we're not certified air conditioning technician, none of that, but we're going to give you our point of view and what we think about this system and what we trying to service it. So this is for entertainment purpose only. When the summer starts getting nearby, we start seeing people that their cab is not cooling down because the system has probably low and freon or low pressure. So what we start doing is we start going to the cheapest route, which is going to the auto parts and start buying these cans or bottles with this liquid that we can feed into the system. But I see a big mistake being done here because most people are afraid to change their own engine oils because they don't know what they're doing, or even the air filter because they're scared of they can break something. But at the same time, they're encouraged enough to get these liquids and be a technician for air conditioning when they don't know what they're doing, trying to do the cheapest route, and it's going to be the most expensive at the end because you can damage a system. So we're going to show you that we don't do, and the way we actually service the system when it's not cooling down on our cab. So this system is the one of the most complicated or most pricey out of all the systems on the car, other than transmissions and electrical computers, because this system is for comfort. We're going to explain what we don't do and what we do. So with that said, let's jump right into what we're talking about. Most cars have an AC compressor, so air conditioning. So there's a four main components to this system: is the air compressor, which is the heart, the evaporator, the condenser, and the proportioning valve. So those four components make this system. There's other things that can go in there, pressure switch and all that, but the main four components are those. So on our case, this is the compressor for another car, or these compressors, as you press the button or the power, usually there was a clutch here that would engage by magnetic field and it will spin the inside. So when you disengage it, there'll be no magnetic field here, so the pulley will just spin like a regular pulley, but there will be no movement on the air compressor. So there's a high side and a low side connection. So there's a liquid or vapors in there that we have to check. There's a high and low side to this. So like we were saying, we go to the auto parts and our system is not cooling down. And the first thing you see is some of these bottles being advertised in the shelf. So we go and buy one and they're maybe $60 for a bottle. And then once you return the core, they give you 10 or whatever dollars back for returning the bottle. So this is what we don't do. This is just personal. What we do is something else. So we don't even do this. We don't buy it. We don't even try to do or fill in our system with this. We just bypass that. We use this. So this is what we use. And before we move on, we just wanna expose this. We are APA certified to be able to handle this amount of refrigerant because we took the class and we took the test for the state and we were able to obtain our EPA. And there's not be giving explanations about that, but we do have our EPA license for this. So just so we are clear, we don't do this for a living. This is what we just did so we could acquire more knowledge and put that on our belt for our own personal purpose. But we're giving you an idea and for educational purpose how we do this. So now we're gonna hook up our gauges on the low side, high side, and then we're gonna put the freon connected to it, and we're gonna be running the AC before we start charging it so you can see how bad it is. And then after we start charging that, if it makes a difference. So we're gonna be hooking up everything and put it to work. So now before we hook up any of the gauges, we're gonna go put this in the cab and start getting a reading of how it's performing. And then once we run it for a little bit, we're going to start running the system to fill it up and see if it makes a difference. So now we have our AC on. We have a recycling going on. We have it right to the vents on the dash, the center, and then we are about 67, 68 of temperature. So now that's a starting point. So we're gonna go and start giving him service to this AC system to see how well it starts performing. So now we have our gauges hooked up to the high and low side. We have gauges ready to go. We have this closed. We have our Freon ready to be inserted into the system, but we're gonna turn on our AC and see the pressures because this goes by pressures, high and low. So we're gonna see how it's performing first. So now here's our readings, and we're gonna open in the low side to start feeding our Freon and see what happened with the pressure because they're low. So now we're gonna check our, look at the gauge. It's reading 30, almost 30. Wow, that's from 70 went to 30. So that's a big drop. That's a big change. So now it's cooling. Our system is doing its job. So we have it on max. So that's good. That's really cold. So our pressures have changed. So they're getting higher and lower. They're becoming more normal. So after about 20 minutes of using the car or the AC, is about 30 degrees in the cab. So this is ready for the summer now. So now as we can see, the system is becoming more normal because we're actually getting the pressures that we need to for the system. So now that we are got the pressures where they need to be, so we can start disconnecting our system so we can have our car ready for the summer. And like we said on the beginning, this is for entertainment purpose, and this is we're not professionals at what at air compressors and all that other stuff. We just have experience, and we have been exposed to this kind of system. So we try to avoid putting those bottles into it, and we just take it to our shops, or we do it the right way ourselves, so we can get the system back to a normal operation status. So with that said, folks, for friends who are watching the video, have to subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. If you like a video, give us thumbs up, share it, and we'll see you soon with more videos here en el canal de Chano Jose.